sometimes it doesn't, although that hasn't happened in a while, so I'm just going to keep talking until the audio starts, and
do we
it's
have
not
like,
starting, so...
okay, do we have like 30 seconds?
Yeah, sure. I'm
Okay.
just testing the stream. Go ahead, take your time. I'll wait till you get back.
And I'm still on first. I just wanted to double
Yep.
check.
Yep.
Okay, great. I'll stay here.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute myself to turn me
Okay.
on.
Stream is working, so... Lauren, what we're going to do is we're going to do the greeting with Beth and Kirk first, and then I'll go to you for what have you been up to, and then we'll go right into your song from there.
Got it. Now I'll mute myself.
Okay. All right. So the stream is working, and now Dementia Radio, and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski!
We have Lauren Mayer with us!
Hi, Lauren!
Hey!
As well as Bad Beth!
Hey, Beth!
And Kirk Richard!
And Kirk St. James is the other one. So, hey, Kirk.
How y'all doing?
Good, good. So, welcome to episode 787 of the Funny Music Podcast for Thursday, July 17th, 2025. I think I may have said the wrong date last week because it was only 6 days ago instead of 7 in my script. Anyway, the title of this week's show is Bite-Sized Mammoth, and your job is to work that into our conversations somehow. I just put it into the chat for us. So... let's get into the catch-up thing, shall we?
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey!
What?
Oh, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Well, the most immediate thing I've been up to is that today I went for a job interview for a regular type of non-animation industry day job, and it seemed to go well. I haven't gotten the 100% confirmation that I'm being hired, but it seemed to be going that way because they said the next thing that would happen is somebody would email me about coming back and doing another sort of orientation type of thing to show me around the place and explain what I'd all be doing. So cool. I'm not going to get into any more detail than that, but if I end up getting offered this position, I'll probably be starting it within a couple weeks, which is perfect just because it is.
Money.
And Kalani and I went to see the Superman film today.
I was
much enjoyed
supposed
the
to go
Superman.
see that today, and I couldn't. Like, at the last minute, I couldn't. So, yeah.
Well, it's really good. It makes all of the correct people angry. So there you go. But in more general news of the past week, as you saw at the beginning of last week's episode, Carrie Dalby and Alexandre Racy, a.k.a. Meow Meme, were visiting me for the week. So we did a bunch of fun stuff. A friend of ours got us into Universal Studios Hollywood because she works there, at which we rode the Mario Kart ride, and that was the only ride. Because Alexandre isn't as much into the rides, but nonetheless, it was cool to have gone and done that. You remember the puppet ads I had filmed, with Alexandre, a bunch of, like whenever a year, every time I get together and hang out with her, she wants to film more puppet ads. So there's like about probably a good dozen or two, FuMPCast puppet ads that we've filmed that you haven't even seen yet. So I'm not sure what to do with them, other than make them all one big long video and upload them to YouTube and just be like, here, people, watch these if you would like. I also kind of like the idea of commissioning somebody, like, just to give them all the videos and say, here, take all these videos, edit together one cohesive actual ad for the FuMPCast using the content in here and see if they could pull that off. They, I don't know. Anyway, but, she likes it. It's fun. And then we actually took a trip down to the San Diego area, technically Carlsbad, because we went to Legoland, which they had never been to before, and also before I brought it up a month ago or so, they had never even heard of it before, which was kind of shocking considering how much into Lego they are. So we went to Legoland, and we only got through like maybe a third of the park at best, but what we got through was pretty cool, and Alexandra and I rode a ride there, and they got some cool Lego stuff, and it was a good time. So, yeah, took him back to the airport, and then hustled my way back to Burbank so I could then prepare myself for the show I did in Long Beach with Jefferson De Leon at the new Jefferson De Leon's Comedy Music Showcase, which happened at the Wicked Wolf in Long Beach, and that was a fun show. We had about maybe 25 to 30-ish people show up throughout the course of the 2-hour show.
Cool.
Jefferson De Leon broke a string like 2 songs into his set. And he tried to keep going, but then he got to the You Must Give Me Beef song, and he realized that he couldn't really play that song on the guitar without that particular string. So then he asked Robbie Ravenwood to come up and just do his set so he could go off and put the new string on. So Robbie Ravenwood did his set. He was great, had some funny stuff. I gave him my business card afterwards that has the FuMP on it, and basically highly suggested to him that he go and submit some songs to be potential FuMP tracks. So hopefully we'll hear from him soon. Then Sulu got up, did 6 songs, 3 with guitar and 3 with backing tracks that I played off of my iPod. And then I got up and I did a set of 5 songs for my half hour as the headliner, and ended with When You Wish Upon a Death Star, and that was really cool. And I was kind of thinking like, hey, we're ending this about the time we're supposed to be ending this, for the sake of the bar here. But then Jefferson was just kind of like, oh, hey, Luke, why don't you do an encore? You want to do one more song? People, you want to hear? And I was like, oh, okay. And I looked at, and fortunately, because of the way I was picking the songs, I had other tracks that weren't in my main set already kind of at the bottom of that set playlist in my iPod, and I was like...
Grease Wars!
Yeah, well, it wasn't going to be Grease Wars, but, I did... All the songs I did were songs that I knew I had memorized, so I didn't have to bother with lyric sheets. But I did 3 hip-hop songs and 2 singing-type songs. And so I was looking at the thing and I saw What's Up Spock, and I'm like, could you guys handle one more hip hop song? And a few people in the audience went, yay! And I heard one woman go like, no! And I was like, oh! I'm like, would it help if it was about Star Trek? and then people were like, yay! I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to do this. Here's, the first 40 years of Star Trek in 5 minutes. And I did What's Up Spock. And something happened during What's Up Spock that I don't recall ever happening before. I've heard Henry Rollins talk about, like, when it comes to having, like, lyrics memorized, it's like if you know the first line of the verse and you say it, like, everything else will just kind of fall like dominoes, and like you'll get through the whole verse just fine. But something happened with me where I got distracted after the Deep Space Nine verse for just a second, and it made the first line of the Voyager verse completely eject from my brain. I'll just stand there like, I actually had to apologize to the audience. I was like, I'm sorry, I completely spaced out on what the next line is to start the next verse. So I had backed up the music, and then I remembered, like, Holodoxy Attitude. Okay, that's it. All right, cool. I'm back on track, So, but yeah, so I did that. I also want to give a shout out to Bob Matthews, who came out to see us. I haven't seen him in person in forever.
Oh, cool.
So big ups to Bob for being there. I'm like, I was tempted to be... like do a thing with like, all the guys in the house say yeah, yeah. All the ladies in the house say yeah, yeah. If I ever wrote a song about you, say yeah, and like see it. But
if I ever mowed your lawn, say yeah.
Perfect.
If anybody wants to mow my lawn, I'm hiring.
Well, how much was it, Luke? What was it like $1,500 to mow the lawn.
Well, I think it was $1,750.
Okay.
And I know that he paid over $2,000. I think he
Okay.
paid like $2,200 towards my Kickstarter. But
So you got that money, Kirk? You ready for the? Because Luke will do it. I know he will.
I was kind of hoping for that new that new thing that's coming out, the robot mower, where it's like a Roomba.
Oh yeah.
On steroids that mows your lawn.
Yes.
Only problem is they start at like $5,000.
Yeah.
You know how many people I could hire to cut my lawn for $50 a time? I mean, I would love to have one of them things.
You do the redneck
also,
version
shout
where
out
you
to-
put a stake in the ground and then put a rope on the lawnmower and just let it go, and it goes in a circle and winds itself up and just keeps getting closer and closer. So you'll get most of it that way.
You see, I was trying to get somebody to mow my lawn, but I guess he didn't really understand the instructions, and he kind of ran screaming. He brought this big old thing. That's not what I was talking about. I was talking about my back fence. I don't know what you were all thinking about, but I scared him. I don't know why.
Well, to wrap up, I also want to give a shout out to Christopher Bay, who showed up for the show. So
cool.
Thanks, Christopher, for coming out. So what have you been up to, Devo Spice?
I went up to upstate New York with Darren last weekend for sporting things. Actually, the first part of the trip was to the Poconos. There's a mountain in the Poconos where Darren ran what's known as a Spartan race, which is a 5K with obstacles. It's kind of like almost like military training, I want to say. It was a 5K. The first part of the race went straight up an expert trail on the ski mountain, and then down like the beginner trail that went back and forth. At some point, there was a rope climb. He had to crawl through mud under an obstacle. I don't think it was barbed wire, but it was something that was like supposed to simulate that. And at the very end of it, he had to jump over a fire pit. So he did that of his own free will. So that was a thing. And unfortunately, I couldn't watch. I mean, I could have, but you only get to see like really small part of the race, like the very beginning and the very end, because the rest of it they're up in a mountain. So I just went off and entertained myself for an hour, and then we drove up to upstate New York, up to Seneca Lake, which is beautiful, by the way, for a triathlon, which thankfully he was not participating in. He was just watching. A couple of his friends from college were taking part in the triathlon, and so like a handful of kids from the swim team decided to go up and cheer them on. So we got up there and I got to see my first triathlon, and yeah, that's something I'm never going to do. So, but it was a fun weekend. Tuesday night, I finally recorded the next episode of Random Acts of Horror. So now I need to edit episode 5 so I can get that out. I'm hopefully going to be able to do that this weekend. Not sure how much time I'm going to have, but soon, hopefully. And then this weekend I'm actually going to Connecticut, because tomorrow I'm going to drive to Connecticut tomorrow to see my parents, and then tomorrow night I'm going to see Weird Al at the casino in Foxwoods in Connecticut. So I'm really looking forward to that. I was thinking about it, like I saw Al on the last Vanity tour. I missed the first Vanity tour, and I missed like the several tours before that. I don't know why, but like I haven't seen like a full Weird Al show in a very long time, so I'm very much looking forward to this.
Yeah, the only tour I missed completely was in recent years was the Strings Attached tour, but I did see Al perform at the Hollywood Bowl once, where he had an orchestra. So I kind of feel like that's relatively the same thing.
Yeah, I missed the Strings Attached tour too. So, Beth, what have you been up to? Been a while since we've talked to you.
Yeah, I kind of went off the radar for a while. I went to go up into the mountains. I got some martial arts training, and I was like training in this dojo. And then I got this word about this Dr. Demento tribute. So I dropped everything to write my Dr. Demento song, but I was doing some different kinds of warfare. Like, anybody can fight with a sword, but, I've been trying alternate ways of take it. If somebody meets me in a dark alley with this thing, you think which is going to be more scary, a sword or Pickle Rick? Because I was working at the really strange dojo. I tried all kinds of these nunchucks. Somebody said, Beth, those aren't nunchucks. I was like, oh. Then I realized I probably had to wash them first, because apparently this is you're not supposed to show these in public or nothing. But so then I came down and back down, and I ran into Kirk St. James, and we found this Marvel pinball machine, and it was just like we got all geeky again about Marvel comics. We found this Avengers pinball game, and at this place that served like pterodactyl steaks and bite-sized mammoth and all kinds of things that Cajun people eat. And
see, you really sneak it in there. Like, Luke telegraphs it from like a mile away when he does it. Like, that was sneaky.
But the thing is, it's Cajun Louisiana, where the rule is you eat anything that doesn't eat you first. So if you start with the prehistoric pickle, I mean, look at the size of this thing. Look at the size of this thing. I haven't seen anything this size since high school prom night. So but I learned all kinds of warfare. That was what I did. Training in the mountains, and then writing my Dr. Demento song. So I'm going to start recording that.
I'm very much looking forward to the Dr. Demento song. So Kirk, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Do you know what you got yourself into on this program?
I have seen the show before.
Oh, okay. Okay,
and,
good.
I am somewhat acquainted with Miss Beth.
Yeah, how did you get involved with her?
Well, it was. I was on my way to Comic-Con, specifically the one that I like to go to back in Texas. I did spend some time there, and there was this long stretch of highway where I happened to see this young lady carrying two, not one, but two cases that carried instruments. And I thought, that is just not right.
So you decided to be a gentleman.
Exactly. I am a gentleman unless I'm asked not to be. But that is a whole other story, sir. So I stopped and we started talking, and I was on the way to Comic-Con, and apparently we shared some about Marvel and Stan Lee, which
you got to make noise so it cuts back to you.
It's a beautiful thing. But anyway, beside that, so we started riding together. Going to San Antonio, it is a.
That's one of them coyotes like walking in the background.
That is my my matriarch of the wolf pack.
Okay.
She is telling me that she needs something, but she can wait for a second. Because I am the alpha.
Okay.
And so on the way to the Comic-Con, we started talking about movies and comics and things like that, and how DC didn't really do anything for us. I mean, DC is just DC. It is what it is. And we got on the subject of Marvel and how Marvel, with Stan Lee, has flourished for all these years. And we just started talking about how these super-powered people could possibly get together and knock some boots and not destroy an entire city block in the process.
Yeah, that's got to be tricky. But we'll get into your song in a bit. Lauren, welcome back.
Well, thank you for having me.
So what have you been up to?
Squeezing in my song.
Yeah.
Oh, just working. I do my week. I know. I mean, you kind of, carved out a bite-sized Mammoth section for me to squeeze in here. I have to play. For people who aren't familiar, I do songs every week. So I'm on a summer break. I teach at the San Francisco Conservatory of Music, and I'm on summer break. And it's amazing that I'm just as busy as when I'm teaching. So I'm doing weekly songs. I'm planning a whole, I've got a Jewish mother one-woman show, and I'm planning some stuff on that. And I also, my big excitement is I hired a social media consultant.
Ooh.
Who is the 26-year-old daughter of my high school best friend. That's how old I am. And what I learned from her is that people these days, and I knew that short videos would probably do better, what I didn't realize is I also needed to make them vertical, because in addition to young people not wanting to watch a video that's longer than a minute, they don't want to turn their phones sideways.
Yeah.
That's too much work.
Yeah.
So I have now, and it's amazing, my YouTube videos are getting way more views now that I'm making some of them vertical. So who knew? So I am a grandma, and I've been out of high school a long time, but I can still keep up with the young folks. So I feel pretty proud of myself.
Awesome.
I'm old enough, I don't know if any of you are, when I first started recording my own stuff, it was on 24-track tape, where the engineer had a literal razor blade and cut it when you made a mistake. He cut out the mistake on tape and then taped it back together with other tape that you taped the tape with. It's been a long time. And
I never did that, but
and then it was
I did start with a 4-track, and then which just used regular cassette tape, and there was no fixing your mistakes other than re-recording the entire track. So that's what I ended
this
up
is when
doing.
I hired my engineer that I've been working with that whole time. And then I evolved in, cassettes, and then it was CDs, and then it's streaming, which you make nothing from, and now I'm doing YouTube, and now I'm on Instagram, and I'm just like, I feel like the Madonna of women in comedy music. I just have to keep evolving and changing. So that's what I'm up to. And funny that Luke mentioned seeing the new Superman movie and pissing off all the right people, because that's the song I'm putting out tomorrow. Not the one on the FuMP, but I'm putting out a song about Superman being super woke. Because I love it when we trigger right-wing nut jobs. That's basically my goal in life with my weekly songs. So that's what I'm up to.
So, speaking of the song you posted a song, oddly enough.
Yes.
So give us a quick intro. We will give it a listen.
It's an update of something I had done about 7 years ago that was on the FuMP, but I think it's a theme that we need to keep returning to, which is I'm a Jew and I know that ain't Christian. It's the hypocrisy of Christian right-wingers saying, I'm Christian and I'm going to do what the Bible said, even though there's nothing in there about you can't be gay and you can't have an abortion. And there's a lot of stuff about love thy neighbor, not in the way Donald Trump does. Love thy neighbor, welcome in the stranger, feed people. It's not about money. Rich people don't get to go to heaven. But somehow they forget all that stuff. And the hypocrisy is pretty awful all along. But lately, there was a picture of a bunch, and I don't always get partisan on FuMP, but I had to this time. There's a picture of a bunch of Republican congresspeople praying to pass that horrible big bill, taking away health care from millions and taking food away, and they're praying.
Yep.
And let me just say, I'm a Jew, and I know that ain't Christian, and you can tell how angry I am about a topic because the music gets really silly, and I often put on a wig. And I have the biggest bad country wig on in the video for the song. So is that enough
and
of a
we're
lead
going to show
into
the
it?
video right now. So here it is.
The Christian right praises Trump with phrases quite poetic. With greed and lust and pride, these days I guess they're copacetic. Apparently the real sin is being empathetic. I'm a Jew, but I know this ain't Christian. The GOP's big budget bill is heartless, wrong, and cruel. Taking from the poor to give to rich folks isn't cool. Guess grabbing all the gold is now their only golden rule. I'm a Jew, but I know this ain't Christian. They worship Trump, who's someone folks of faith ought to despise. Shows no compassion, cheats on all his wives, and he tells lies. Heck, there's not much about religion this schmo understands. Though his favorite part of praying is the laying out of hands. And the stuff about loving your neighbor, but only if she's hot, young, and looks like his daughter, or is. Trump demonizes immigrants so bigots he can court them. Attempts to do what Jesus did, the GOP will thwart him. In fact, if he came back today, they'd probably deport him. I'm a Jew, but I know they ain't Christian.
I hate asking y'all for support every week, but these videos don't produce themselves. So if you think they're worth as much as a cup of coffee once a month, and not even a fancy cappuccino, just a $2 cup of joe, then you can join my Patreon, get some free stuff, and help me keep helping you laugh at the news that might otherwise make you cry. Thank you.
I normally cut that stuff out, but I figured I'd give you the plug this time.
Oh, thank you.
Because you did it so short and so fast.
It's a great platform. Yeah. I got into public speaking because I was in speech therapy in elementary school because I talked too fast. And they trained us for public speaking. And that plus Dr. Demento is why I am the way I am today.
So you just undid all of that work so that you could say that.
Well, what's great
the
is I
Micro
now,
Machines guy.
it is a superpower I had to learn to control, just like Superman. You know, when
Gotcha.
he first started running and you couldn't control, you had to learn. I had to learn to control. I can speak slowly when I choose to. But I can also go really fast if I want to. So I have learned to control my superpower.
So when you posted this song, it was funny because I was like, wait a minute, didn't she already post that one? And I went back and I'm like, I'm positive she already posted this. And I searched the FuMP. I'm like, yeah, you already posted this. And she's like, no, this is a new one. I'm like, oh, okay.
This is when my husband calls it when I Andrew Lloyd Webber myself. I reuse melodies. So, but I've been doing one a week since
Also known as capital stepping.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been doing them since 2012.
Or Steve Goodying.
Occasionally I get to reuse a tune. But
Yeah.
I also I thought the message needed to be said again. So thank you for letting me do that.
Well, this is a song that you can, you redid it for 2025. You could probably redo it again in 2026 and probably again in 2027. And if there's anything left of this country, maybe again in 2028.
But I also have another one called Hypocrisy, Thy Name is GOP, and I have Voter Fraud is a Fraud. Those all could be updated. Actually, a lot of mine could
There's
be updated.
a lot, yeah. You can just don't. Yeah, Luke's right. Don't turn into the Capitol steps, though.
I will not. I promise.
I love the Capitol steps, but they did reuse a lot of stuff.
Yeah. No, I figure out of 13 years worth, I've reposted something twice. I did Voter Fraud twice because I had to keep updating it because I kept changing the rules, and I've done this one twice. So I think that's not bad for several hundred songs.
So I also have been posting vertical shorts on YouTube and getting a lot more results.
Yeah.
So what's been your experience with doing that?
Well, I've only been doing it for about a month, and so far, I do a short one and the full one because I do still have some old school fans who like the bigger ones, so they'll be upset if I don't do the landscape ones.
So those are both on your same channel, right?
Yeah. So, but you have to do it less than 60 seconds to have to go to shorts. So.
But what I was going to say was, you probably know this already, but just in case you don't, when you upload a short, one of the options is related videos, and you can link to the full one.
I do that.
Okay, good.
I'm doing that, and I don't know if it's upping the views on the regular video, but when I'm used to seeing,
it can't hurt.
I posted one, and overnight it got like 1,500 views. Yeah, it might be 2 seconds, but it makes me feel good. So, and it's not that hard to do. Now you have to film big enough, and then you can do double edits. I'm learning all this. See, you guys know all the high tech stuff. I don't. So.
No, it's great that like us old folks can keep up with the youngins on these platforms.
You are not old, Devo.
I'm 52. That's old enough.
Oh,
I'm way older than you. If I lived in Alabama, I'd be old enough to be your mother.
Don't you? You better not call 52 old, Devo, because I got a pickle and I know how to use it.
All right.
52 is young.
Yeah.
I'm way past that, but I'm waiting for the. But you don't look at Lauren. Hello.
But you don't look at Lauren. Did you say how old you were? Because I didn't hear it. If you did,
I'm 66.
Okay. Yeah, you absolutely don't look 66. Because I remember when my grandmother was 66, and like, it's funny. They have these memes going around. It was like, of like what old people looked like in the 80s, and like there was a guy who was like, I forget what TV show it was, but he was like 42 and he looked like he was like 60, like 65, and then like how old were the Golden Girls when that show started? You know,
they were in their 50s.
They were in their 50s, but they had like white. That old lady haircut, the white poofy hair, you know.
I don't know. I think B. Arthur was kind of hot.
They all were actually, but yeah, no. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Betty White was a national treasure.
She was.
So I kind of assume the reason why people from Gen X and after, look a lot younger than the previous generations are because, like, well, first of all, we didn't have to fight in 1 or 2 world wars.
Yes.
Second of all, the majority, or I think it's been a declining over the years, the allure of getting drunk all the time, getting stoned all the time, being in the sun for, 16 hours a day. Like, all these things finally came around, like, oh, yeah, maybe not do all those things that ravage your body, and then you won't look like Walter Cronkite at age 37. You know?
It's mostly smoking and staying out of the sun.
I will thank my lucky stars for the fact that I burn very easy. I grew up in Southern California, and most of my high school friends look a lot older because they sunbathed, and we didn't know then. But I freckled, and I hated my freckles, and so I was vain in high school, and I knew I wouldn't tan, and so I stayed out of the sun because I didn't want freckles.
I stayed out of the sun because I burn.
I should have been a redhead as a kid because I have that kind of redhead burning skin. So see, we're lucky. We're going to be looking way younger. And I also do music with younger people, and I keep up with stuff, and I can't afford to retire, so that keeps me younger too.
Join the club.
Yep. Yeah, I'm your Huckleberry on that one.
Well, thank you. I got to go cook dinner for my husband, so I got to sign off. But
all right. So, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
No. I'm going to be doing the whole thing in September around the show Nobody Wants This, which is coming back. It's the show about the shiksa and the rabbi with Kristen Bell and Adam Brody, I think. Anyway, I'm going to do a version of my Jewish Mother show around that, and it's going to start being virtual, and I'm hoping to do it in person. So, and I have a new website, laurenmayer.com, so you can check that out and see my web designer. I'll plug her. So that's all I have to plug right now.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and I'll get you my Demento song in soon.
Good. And I'm very much looking forward to the Superman song tomorrow.
Yeah, well, check it out tomorrow. Luke, I will send an extra thought to you because you're the one who brought up that it pissed off. I haven't seen it yet, but nice to know that my song will piss off people too.
Yes, everyone should see it. It's such a good movie.
That's what I've heard. So. All right, thank you guys.
Right.
Bye.
Bye, Lauren.
Nice to meet you, Beth and Kirk. Can't wait to hear your songs.
This is the FuMP.
Woke Marxist Pope. I'm gonna keep on laughing as the woke Marxist Pope pisses off the maggots cause he's from Chicago. I'm gonna keep on clapping for the woke Marxist Pope. Woke Marxist Pope.
A la-dee-dee, a 1, 2, 3. He's Barry, he's Dr. D. And all the keys, that's A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. He's Barry, he's Dr. D. Is this?
Wind up your radio. Let's get demented.
Gentlemen and all you ladios, let's get demented.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Let's get demented.
Mallory is back. Infinite Archive, Book 3 of the Midsolar Murders by Mur Lafferty. Now available from bookstores, Amazon, and Audible.
Time for funny music news. Something.
In the news, actually, before we get to the news, I just wanted to mention a couple hours ago I finished listening to Infinite Archive by Mur Lafferty. It's freaking great. I actually think it's the best one of the three. But definitely listen to the first two before you listen to the third one, because she assumes you know the reveals of the first two. So, anyway, the FuMP Volume 111 is now available. It shipped to subscribers several days ago. I don't remember exactly when. But this features all the songs from May and June of 2025, including Pretty Fly for a Trans Guy by That Lucky Panda, Autocorrect by Mikey Mason, Pina Colada, the White Lotus song by Carrie Dalby, Woke Marxist Pope by Insane Ian, He's Barry, He's Dr. D by Steve Goody, Let's Get Demented by Carla Ulbrich featuring Bill Larkin, and many more, plus a video of Steve Goody and Bill Larkin performing He's Barry, He's Dr. D at Sulu's house concert this past spring. Cover photo by Kevin J. Connolly, who's in the chat. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, look, here's the photo right here. Woohoo! It's on an album. And also on the back of the album, look, it's my girlfriend Kalani. She's right there. She's let me position it right. It's all backwards. There she is. She's on an album. Hooray! It's Kalani. She's over there too. Look, she's on the FuMPCast. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, that photo was taken at Dr. Demento's birthday parties. Luke, was it your idea to take the group photo?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're like, hey, we got all these FuMP people here. We should probably take a picture. So we grabbed Kevin and went outside.
Yeah, we were basically trying to have everyone that was involved with the FuMP, so it could be all FuMP people. And then Bill Larkin was like, oh, can I be in the photo too? And then we said, yes, but you have to promise that you're going to post a song at the FuMP so that it makes sense for you to be in the photo. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. And so far he's done that.
He's on the song with Carla, so that counts.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he'll post some of his own songs sometime.
So now we need a song by Toilet Deep Tea Paper, because he's on the cover too.
Well, I don't know. Grant has been on the sideshow before, so yes, I kind of figured, well, that's close enough.
Yeah. Weird Al is on tour, as you all know, but I just wanted to mention that he played a sold-out show at Madison Square Garden the other day, which made the news, so that's kind of awesome. I will be going home seeing him tomorrow in Connecticut. And Dr. Demento has been awarded a special Logan Award. This is a Lifetime Achievement Award, and here to explain that is Insane Ian.
Greetings, Internet. My name is Ian Bonds, aka Insane Ian. I am a comedy musician and comedy music fan. I'm also the chairperson of the Logan Whitehurst Memorial Awards for Excellence in Comedy Music, also known as the Logan Awards. And it is my immense pleasure to announce the recipient of the very first Lifetime Achievement Logan Award, Barrett Hansen, better known as Dr. Demento. Since 1970, Dr. Demento has brought mad music and crazy comedy from the smogberry trees of the land of dementia to the airwaves every week on his radio show and, more recently, online at drdemento.com. He is a member of the Radio Hall of Fame, has a master's degree in ethnomusicology, written for Hit Parader and Rolling Stone, been the roadie for Spirit and Canned Heat, and introduced generations of listeners to artists like Spike Jones, Tom Lehrer, Rusty Warren, Ogden Edsel, Alan Sherman, Christine Lavin, The Great Luke Ski, Devo Spice, Carla Ulbrich, Carrie Dalby, Worm Quartet, Power Salad, myself, our award's namesake Logan Whitehurst, and many, many others. And made Weird Al Yankovic a household name. In October of 2025, Dr. Demento will be retiring from his show. After 55 years of bringing comedy music to the masses, he's hanging up his top hat for good. So, as a way to commemorate everything he's done for comedy music, it is my honor to award Barrett Hansen the Lifetime Achievement Logan Award for outstanding accomplishments for the advancement and proliferation of comedy music. On behalf of myself, the Logan Awards, and the Funny Music Project, thank you, Barry, for everything. There would be no Logan Awards, no Funny Music Project, and on a personal note, no Insane Ian, if not for you and your show. Thank you, and congratulations on your retirement.
So yeah, when Ian told me he was planning to do that, I was very happy. So, all right, so that is all the news we got. Anything before tour dates? All right. Take that as a no.
I thought I had something, and then my brain ejected. I know. I wanted to mention that this week on the John Oliver's show, he's been doing this thing all season, like he was going to take a minor league baseball team and like rebrand them for some kind of promotional stunt, and the team he chose was based out of Pennsylvania. I think they were the Erie Seawolves or something like that. But he decided to rename them after years and years ago. There was a guy by the name of Moon discovered mammoth bones sunk in a lake somewhere, so it became known as the Moon Mammoth. So he's renaming the team the Moon Mammoths, which would have been the perfect way for me to segue into saying bite-sized mammoth if it already hadn't been done twice on the show before.
Well, you just said it again.
You just said it.
So, all right, tour dates. On Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody hosting at the Bluebird. Sundays online, 2 Sleeps. The last Sunday of each month on Facebook, Lauren Mayer. Mondays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. Wednesdays in San Francisco, California, Ben Vicini. On the 18th in Liverpool, New York, Steve Goody. On the 19th in Ithaca, New York, Steve Goody. On the 20th on YouTube, Escape from the Secret Lab featuring the Consortium of Genius. On the 23rd in Medicine, New Jersey, Carla Ulbrich. On the 25th in Cork, Ireland, Steve Goody. The 25th and 26th in Coraopolis, Pennsylvania, Toby Danger and Clearly Guilty. The 26th in Hollywood, Northern Ireland, Steve Goody. On the 26th in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, Carla Ulbrich. And on the 27th in Bangor, Northern Ireland, Steve Goody. And also on the 27th in Belfast, Northern Ireland, Steve Goody. All right, and we have a birthday to add to this spreadsheet from the other day. Ryan Collins from Toby Danger. Happy birthday, Ryan. All right. Beth.
I also should mention that on the 16th, it was Cubert's 10th birthday. Yay for my cat, Cubert. Woo.
Yay, Cubert.
I saw that. He's a very cute, he's very, very cute.
Thank you. He's an adorable guy.
Yeah.
So, Beth, give us a quick introduction to this song, and we will give it a listen.
Well, this song, we were talking about Marvel in the Sack. It's about what happens when two people who bond. You can interpret that any way you wish over Marvel, and you speculate a little bit too much on what it really means to have a Hulk smash, and the next thing you know, comics take their place.
All right, here is Marvel in the Sack by Bad Beth and Beyond.
Well, I'm a nerd, I'm a geek, but I'll spread you like the pages of a comic by Stan Lee, so come on. Lightning will always strike true. 'Cause you're Marvel in the sack, and my storm is blowing on through.
part of your charms. And just like Dr. Octopus, I wish you had 8 arms. So come on, I'm a sucker for tentacles too. 'Cause you're a marvel in the sack, and your magnets make me come unglued.
Well, I love the X-Men
and Spider-Man too.
Let's have an adventure and shoot my webs on you. Come on, it's a rated triple X-Men screw. 'Cause you're a marvel in the sack, and like Spidey, it's front page news.
The Fantastic Foreplay, you've got the knack. Once you go Black Panther, you never go back.
Well, I wrap my rascal no liability. 'Cause with great power comes responsibility.
Yours ain't been used in a while, but come on over, baby, and we'll do it Asgard style. Come on,
I'm calling thunder and lightning from the blue. 'Cause you're a marvel in the sack, and my Avenger will assemble for you. Well, the hole may be green, but my balls are blue. So damn sexy that I want to smash you, so come on. My pink coat is powerful too. Yeah, it's true. 'Cause you're a marvel in the sack, let my gamma radiation subdue. 'Cause you're a marvel in the sack, and my missiles are supercharged too. You're a marvel in the sack, you make Howard the Duck wanna drool.
Excelsior! Wow, oh my God.
I love the Excelsior at the end. That just really puts the, finishing touch on this.
Yeah, so, Mr. Kirk St. James, I mean, that was his idea. I mean, when we got together and co-wrote the song, he threw some ideas all over me, so we got a little carried away, but it was all right,
How could you not do a song about Marvel that Stan Lee created and not put Excelsior in there somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense,
Yeah.
and it was a perfect use for it.
Well, I do appreciate that, sir.
Speaking, was that the a little bit of the Spider-Man theme worked in there? Was that intentional?
Yeah, I was consulting. I found there is a little bit of a nod to it, and I was talking. I captured Dr. Pinkerton, and I tied him up and I tortured him for information and about what's plagiarism and what's just kind of a tribute. So he assured me that you throw in just one little blue note and you're good.
Yeah.
Because he's a master of that kind of thing. But don't tell him that. Don't tell him, because I had to get that information out of him.
You compliment him. I will never tell him that. Don't worry. Your secret is safe with me.
Don't because I got a pickle and I know how to use it.
I'm sure. Yes, we've established the pickle.
Because
yes,
if anybody pisses me off, I could use this at any second.
Is the pickle's not a Marvel character,
I'm just saying.
Right? It could be, but it's not.
No, it's not a Marvel character.
Okay.
This was just my secret weapon when I was training in the mountains.
Okay. So
well, now I don't know what they taught you in them mountains or what mountains you were in, but damn.
Wait, what are you implying there? What are you saying that? Are you implying that my my martial arts training is not valid. Is that what you're saying?
No, I think he's talking about
Is
your
that what
mountains.
Is he talking about my mountains? How dare you dishonor me like that, Mr. Kirk St. James? I can't believe you would dare dishonor.
Aw, doggy.
I'm gonna.
I am being assaulted, sir, at this point in time. Could you call the authorities?
Respect my authority.
For those listening at home, Beth is attacking Rick with her pickle. Or Kirk with her pickle, sorry.
Yes. It's
But as you notice, my hat stayed on.
It did stay on. That's impressive. That's a Texas thing, right?
Well, I was born and raised Cajun, and
okay.
Down here they got hats too. So it's kind of like when you go to Mardi Gras and you fall out your lawn chair while you're holding your drink, trying to catch a bead. You never spill your drink.
I'll have to take your word for that.
Okay,
I've never
I'm done
been to
now.
Mardi Gras, so.
Oh, sir, you should.
Yeah, I want to. I will someday. I'll get down there.
I'm not saying you need to go to, Nolans and do the big one, because that's just big and smelly, but just pick you another city like Lafayette, something like that, where you can just go and it's family friendly.
Okay.
I was going to say go to a Mamu, where you get drunk on horseback.
I got something you can experience.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Did you enjoy that pickle?
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, did you enjoy my pickle, Mr. Kirk St. James?
I do believe there are a couple things I could do with that pickle that might boggle your mind.
Oh, is that right? I feel another comic book coming on.
I may have to write my own comic book after this.
There's a novel that's going to get really graphic. This novel is graphic enough.
We need a Bad Beth comic book. That needs to exist.
I agree, sir.
Well, if Dr. Pinkerton can have his own comic book,
Right?
I need one as well.
Yes, we need somebody get on that. Somebody who's not me, get on that, because I got enough to do.
If Howard the Duck can be a viable character, then I do believe that Bad Beth is destined for comic greatness.
Yes, I absolutely agree. It would be a great book. So I did have one other question about your song. Were there any heroes or references you wanted to work into the song but couldn't? Or didn't?
Well,
see, we brainstormed a lot. Amid distractions, but we brainstormed quite a bit.
We went through quite a few different lyrics. There was one that I really liked and I wanted to keep, and it just didn't fit at any point, and it was it went, I want a hero in the streets, but need a Marvel in the sack.
Okay.
But we had some other things as well. We had the I wanted to tie in Thunderbolts. That was one thing that we scratched. we had several. I just went down the list and all these catchphrases, and we just brainstormed everything. And some things I was like, this is not Marvel specific. Let's put something.
Oh yeah,
something.
We had things about the Avengers Tower that didn't make the cut. I mean, at the end of the day, what we tried to do was incorporate as much of the Marvel Universe as we could.
We even left out the part about me beating the crap out of Sabretooth. That really happened.
No, that did not make the cut.
No, it didn't make the cut, but it could have.
Well, you know, there's always another song. There's always another song ready.
Well, you had your Wolverine
beat the crap out of Sabretooth.
Yeah,
just don't get fingered by Wolverine.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah. See, and that's kind of, you know, we're just trying to have fun with it. You know, we're fans, and, you know, it's kind of like the heroes, you know, they get all the glory.
They get all the shawarma.
Even in their shows. You know, She-Hulk wants to smash Matt Murdock. I mean, what kind of damage would that cause? But the fans need each other, and they need to bond.
Well, thankfully, the fans aren't super powered, at least not that I'm aware of.
Well, you know, that depends on what fan you ask and what superpower they may have. But that's really kind of the undertone of what we did was, you know, the heroes or villains get all the glory.
But, you know,
the fans are the ones that fuel.
We need all the schlababa we can get. We just need some. We need some serious schlababa. You know, we're watching all this stuff go down. It's like, you know, I'm jealous. I need some action too. You know. It's like, let the heroes be heroes. You know, the rest of us need to get laid. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Well, now there you go.
Yeah, the fans need to get laid. Superheroes, it's not fair that they should get all the schlababa and they get to have all these powers. You know, what about the fans?
Yeah, really.
So,
what about the fans?
That's why
I like that you're standing up for the little guy. I love this. You know, somebody has to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's what it's about.
I am more than happy to do that.
Excellent. All right. So, do you guys have anything you'd like to plug?
Well, I got something I want to plug, but I can't do it on this show.
Do it afterwards.
Like
after we're done.
Yeah. I'm gonna be working on this Dr. Demento song. My nemesis is up to all kinds of busy things, but you know, she's like doing all this stupid shit about, you know, talking about vampire movies and stuff, and you know, it's me. I'm the one who's writing all the good stuff, you know, the Dr. Demento songs, and then along the way I get this very fetching co-writing partner over here. Yeah, so we'll probably do some more duets very soon.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. Kirk, you have anything to plug?
Yeah. You got your Wolverine. You got your Jim Croce song, right?
Well, you know, I do have a love for Jim Croce and his songs. They were very prolific, and I would very much enjoy to finish, because I have started them, some Marvel songs based on Jim Croce's work.
That'd be cool.
Be it that heroes or villains, because Yeah, no, the villains need love too. You know, you need a couple of odes to villains.
One of my favorite albums of all time is Ookla the Mock versus Evil, which is songs about supervillains. The entire it is such a great album. Highly recommend that if you haven't heard it.
I will be working on that. I am looking at doing. I don't know how familiar you are with Jim Croce, but there's. I have to say I love you in a song, right, which is one of his big hits. It's on his greatest hits, but I am looking at turning that into I'd have to try to kill you in the morn.
Okay, that works.
Based on a villain who cannot, kind of like the Coyote and the Roadrunner. He can't. His plans never come out. And so he writes this letter to his nemesis and then apologizes for not being able to kill him and tells him, I'll have to try to kill you in the morn.
All right, then.
That's one. I've got a few others. I am working on... if you remember Bad Leroy Brown.
Yeah.
I was working on Lean Mean Wolverine.
Oh, cool. Yep.
And it's coming along all right, but it's I mean, I try to keep it. I mean, I love my Marvel characters. I really do. And it's really an ode to the best friend that I lost far too soon in this world. And he had a huge collection of comics. And so a lot of the things I think about him and his love for Marvel. He also had a love for DC. I mean, Lobo was a huge character for him, but he had a Spider-Man comic that was signed by a particular artist. And he had it in a plastic sealed, vacuum sealed frame on his wall.
Excellent.
So a lot of the things I draw from his inspiration, and I love Jim Croce, and there's just a lot of things you can do with those songs.
Cool. Well, best of luck with them. And
thank you, sir.
Beth, I am very much looking forward to your song for the Dr. Demento tribute album.
Thank you, Devo. I'm going to get started recording on Monday.
All right. And are you guys sticking around for the rest of the show? Beth, I thought you said you had to take off.
Yeah, I got to go because I got to head and put sandbags around my house because we're going to start getting some weather.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck, folks. And we will catch you next time.
All right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I really appreciate the time that you've given me and the time that I've spent on this podcast.
Anytime. Love to have you back.
All right.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
gentlemen. Bye-bye.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback.
Feedback.
Feedback, you know that segment of the show we do about now?
Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback.
Feedback. Ah, crap. I forgot to ask them before they left. Sorry.
Dracona Solar. Dracona Solar. Dracona Solar.
Draconis wrote, "So Luke, have you heard the premiere episode that Frank Santopadre released having a Gilbert Gottfried AI?"
I have not. I didn't know that was a thing. That's not something I would assume they would have chosen to do.
He continues, "Lauren, how many ideas are appearing from this travesty? Bad Beth, how many bazookies are in a bazinga? Glad my suggestions as well as the others on a Dr. Demento tribute album. Later all." Thank you, Draconis. I had not heard about the Gilbert Gottfried AI, but I've heard of places starting to do that. So as long as like the person would be okay with it, I don't have a problem with it. But kind of depends on what they're doing and stuff.
Well, I mean, it's like as a one-time stunt gag, it's like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever. But, it's not something that I think, should be a regular thing.
Yeah. I know Leo Laporte, the host of This Week in Tech, has said, probably jokingly, but I think partially not joking, that, there are thousands of hours of him on video talking, so it'd be very easy to train an AI to make an AI version of him so that when he dies, the show can continue. And if he wants to do that, it's his show, it's his, it's his identity. He can do that. And, it'd be weird, but it'd be interesting to see how well it works, actually. All right. And A-Log!
Oh my god, it's you, not again!
A-Log wrote, "I'll see what I can do when it comes to reporting my findings. Other than that, congrats on the upcoming Dr. Demento tribute album. As of me writing this, I'm working on that parody idea of mine. No spoilers on what it will be a parody of. Here's hoping a break-in track can work as well." Thank you, A-Log. And that's all the feedback we got. So...
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job. Yeah.
Tomorrow's song is by Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. And Tuesday's song is by the Belle Isle Rats. All right, I need a topic for this week's playlist. Any ideas? I mean, we could do Marvel. It won't include Beth's song because that's not up yet, but there's plenty of other songs. Anything else?
Didn't we do super villains recently?
Let me check.
Because we could do superheroes since, it's like Superman week and all.
Actually, I wonder if there's enough songs about Superman.
Yeah.
We have not done supervillains.
Weird.
Unless I'm spelling villain V-I-L-L-A-I-N, right? Or is it I-A-N? Well, it doesn't matter because neither are showing up anything. So, how many Superman songs are there?
There's an old Tom Smith song called Superman Sex Life Boogie, but I wouldn't assume that that's on Spotify.
Yeah, there's that song from Ookla the Muck, but that's not really a funny song. I mean, there are a couple of jokes in it, but...
You mean Suprema Lex?
Suprema Lex, yeah. Couldn't think of the song, the title.
There's my song, She's Kara Zor-El, which is about Supergirl.
Yeah. We have done superheroes, I'm pretty sure. Yes.
Or we could do DC heroes. I don't know.
You know what? Let's do that. Let's do DC heroes.
Okay. And then later on, when Beth's track is on Spotify, we can do Marvel heroes.
Marvel. All right, cool. All right. So, Bad Beth is at facebook.com/showmeonthedoll69. I will never forget that. And Lauren Mayer is on YouTube at Psycho Supermom and her new website at laurenmayer.com. You got anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
And I'm Luke Ski, and also there was a pickle.
There was a pickle.
That's because.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Shout it to random people on the street. And be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
I gave up crack for Lent, and then I gave up Catholicism because I'm a Jew.